Good day, I'm Stacey Amos, and I'm here with former Senator Holland Redfield, who is running for delegate to Congress. We're going to talk about a subject that is top of mind among most of us here in the territory, which is WAPA, or energy. And let's get right into it, Senator Redfield. Good evening.
Stacey, good day.
What is your assessment of the impact of WAPA rates in the Virgin Islands, specifically for the businesses here and the general population?
A mitigated disaster. There isn't anybody out there in the community that is not feeling it. Particularly, we're talking about quality of life. We're talking about probably the largest transfer of wealth in the history of the Virgin Islands. We've lost about 18 restaurants in the last 24 months, and we're not churning. So those that are in existing businesses are having a struggle to maintain their businesses, and we put ourselves in a position where we can't attract any new businesses.
And that is a difficult position. I mean, we have people, as you know, who are trying to decide whether or not they buy food or pay for their bill.
Correct.
So what is your solution? How do we get out of this?
Well, we've got to get on with it. We've got to develop a consensus and come up with an energy source that we're going to use. I'm going to be very specific, and I believe anybody from running for Congress better be specific on this issue. I support liquefied natural gas. I want to make it clear I do support a mix of energy sources, such as photoelectric cells, photo energy, as well as wind. So there has to be a mix, but we have to rely on what I would call an anchor store. And to do this, we've got to be able to get a consensus on this and move forward, and rapidly.
Consensus between who?
One, the community, which is essential to get on board on this issue. There has to be serious discussion of this. You have to get the executive and legislative branches of government, the independent instrumentality as WAPA on board on this, and we've got to be able to get it from the point of just thinking about it to moving forward on it. It's got to get in front of the legislature as soon as possible and to be voted on. And we've got to have RFPs going out on this issue and people bidding this particular energy solution.
What does this mean for you in Washington if you were so elected to our delegate to Congress?
You have to couple this with a sense of urgency in the Virgin Islands. And I'm saying that the governor of the Virgin Islands, the chief executive, whoever it is, and remember we're going into a gubernatorial cycle in 2014, I believe there should be an energy emergency declared. What is that going to do for us, one, locally? It's going to create that synergy where people have to start working with each other. It is going to demonstrate to the community, the business sector, as well as the individuals living here, that the government officials are going to be working on this and working on it quickly. But more importantly, in Washington, what it does is fast tracks the issue of regulatory issues that will directly impact the speedy resolution of this issue. And locally, our regulatory bodies have got to have their marching orders by the chief executive that they're going to move forward post haste.
Will this be a key priority for you if elected?
This is the number one issue. The number one issue because it has such far-reaching implications socially, economically, and politically. We're talking about being able to attract businesses, being able to move forward as a community. The only way we're going to get out of the issues that we're in today, like our deficit, is to grow our way out of it. And the only way you can grow your way out of it is to have energy costs at a reasonable level that we can survive, one, to attract businesses, and two, the way of life for Virgin Islanders to move forward and have a community that is homogeneous.
Senator Redfield, I hate to ask this, but I must. What is the other option if we don't reach consensus on this issue?
I don't think we have another option. I think all you have to do is ask the average individual that is pushing their shopping cart down a supermarket and looking at the prices they're paying for food and the choices they have to make, because they're directly correlated with the cost of energy. Our political leaders have got to take this anger and turn it into solutions. They got to start thinking about not the next election, but the next generation. Very easy in politics to play this and soft pedal it, but this is the kind of issue that will destroy us as a community. both socially, economically, and politically. I'm not going to gloom and doom it because we have it within our power. We've demonstrated it in the past that we're able to be a resilient society and get on with it. And all I am saying to all of us in this community, allow your political leaders to think outside of the box. Every one of us have made mistakes in our lives. This is an issue that we got to dust off the studies and move on with getting a resolution to it and post haste.
That's a great way to sum it up, Senator Redfield. Thank you for your time, especially on this topic.
And thank you.